So in this webinar, I wanted to go over some best practices when using PowerPoint, and specifically I wanted just to narrow in a couple minutes here, just the use of the layout option, which is basically utilizing your slide master. So what am I talking about here, and what's the use case for this? We probably, in any corporation that you work for, you're probably dealing with slide decks from either a training department or a corporate slide deck, or even when you go to like a kickoff event, or like for us at ServiceNow, like a Knowledge 11 event, there might be some specific layouts that the marketing team has come up with, or templates they've come up with just specific for that event. So it's important that you understand what's going on behind the scenes as far as what PowerPoint's doing. So for example, here I've got a training deck that we use here in the training department for our boot camp class. And so if you look under the layout tab, and I'm using a Mac here, and so here there's a bunch of different layouts that I can utilize, whether I'm putting in text, whether I'm putting in graphics, whether I have a question slide or a blank slide. So there's a different layouts that you can utilize here. So here I think it's one, it looks like somebody's actually chosen this one where there's a small bottom image, so I don't actually see one here. I probably would want to have used this normal instructional content slide. So, case in point, if I had text here and I wanted to utilize a different template, let's say I believe this is a corporate template that we have available. You notice that there's a little image or a template at the bottom. So what I could do is I could say, well, I want to take this bootcamp content that I have and I want to put it into the new hire deck. So you notice that we have the line and the logo across the top on this one. So basically what I could do here is go in here under View and the Master and go and look under the Slide Master, and I can grab this theme, so to speak, and I can copy this, and I can go back to my my training deck, and I can go into the Slide Master section, and I can basically paste this new theme in there. And now when I go back into the view for the template, or for the slides, I can go under layout, and I should be able to scroll down here, and now I've got this new one. So now I've got, this looks like there's some title and content, and so I've got my content in this slide now. Now, so that's relatively easy to understand. I think what people sometimes forget, though, or what they don't do, is they think, well, I'm in my deck, so let me just undo some of this. Ooh, actually, here, let's go and let's close out of this view. Okay, so if I'm in here, what sometimes people do is instead of using the layout, they go into a slide deck and they just kind of sort of ad hoc or freewheel whatever they want to do, and they think, well, this is more flexible if I just come into a slide that somebody gives to me, and instead of using the layouts that are there, I've got this blank slide, and I'll just create my own text box here and start inserting a bunch of content that I want. Okay, and change the color here. So here's a nice text box. Oh, it's flexible. I can kind of move this around, put graphics there. You're not really utilizing the layout that's behind the scenes. So in this particular case, if you wanted to go now and apply a new layout, let's say for a kickoff event or a Knowledge 11 event or some other thing, if I go back down to my templates here and I try to put in the one that I inserted before, you'll notice what happens is the template's got a box already for text, but guess what? It doesn't take your text box and put it in there like we did previously. So I think this is the most important point here, where you basically just utilize the layouts that are available to you from the Slide Master, and that way you don't have to come in here when you're editing slides and having to do a lot of copy and pasting. So again, probably don't have to do this a lot, but I think for the sake of scalability across our company, when we're trying to share some content across events or trainings, that it's important that we utilize the templates that are behind the scenes.